Okay, that should do that. This week we moved from single dimension arrays to multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, so I'm going to explain that in a little bit, and then we're going to do we'll do a program on row sorting, and hopefully we can get through that. We might not get it done today. We might have to run it into Thursday this week. Okay. So let's first, I'm going to take you with me to an Excel spreadsheet here. And you guys see that? Ladies? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, the way it works is this. Let's see here. I'll go down one and put a 0 here and a 1 here. And then a 0 here and a 1 here. And then we'll move those in a little bit. That looks better. All right, so we take these and go down to 9. And then we'll take these and go down to 9. All right. We'll make it a nice little. All right. So in the single dimensional array, we had what we said were rows, okay? So we would have element 0, element 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on going there. Well, now we're adding a second dimension or more, where now we have also columns. And in fact, we can have depth also, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But to declare an array of this size, I would put in, let's just make it a string array. And then I would just put 2 brace like that, 2 of them. And then I could make it a string of, I'll make it students is equal to a new string. And in this case, it's a 10 by 10. Or, so how many elements do I have there? How many places do I have to store things? I can wait forever.
I'm just making a guess. Is it 3 or
No? How many cells are here?
9?
No.
Uh,
That I can put stuff in.
I'm out of ideas.
100?
100. Yeah, it's 10 by 10. Okay, so I could put 100 elements in one just by declaring it like that. It's almost like creating 100 different variables, because I can store different stuff in here, right? Okay, in other words, since they're strings, I can put numbers or names and stuff like that. So I could go down here. I won't make it 100. Let me cut it down some. Let's go with their name and 3 grades, okay? So let me get rid of this. And then I'll put down, we'll have 4 students. Okay. So if I do that, if I do this, then it'll be this size here. And then I would have how many rows? I have 4 rows. And how many elements am I going to be trimmed down to now?
16.
No, it's 4 by, oh yeah, I got a 4 by 4. Yes, exactly right. 16. So it'll be 16 elements that I have now. And I can put in Mo, Larry, Curly, and Shemp. Those are the 3 Stoogers or some. Curly actually was 3 different, or became 3 or 4 different. There was Curly Joe, Curly, and Shemp in the 3 Stooges. And let's just put in single. Okay. All right. So this would give me enough room for a name and then 3 grades for each student. Now, again, since there's strings, if I was to go and average these grades or add them up, whatever, I would have to convert when I input them to calculate them. Of course, I would have to change them into numbers, right? Change them into numbers. But so if I was, let's say that I needed to put in Curly's name or his first grade, I would put it in as student. Oops. And then his first grade is where? It's in 1 or 2, 1. So this would be a 2. And then this would be a 1. And then his grade was a 10. And that's how you would put something into the array. Okay. Of course, we could put that in a loop that runs 16 times also. Okay. And it would look something like this. We would have 4 int row is assigned or is initialized to 0. And then row would be less than students dot length. And you say, well, how does it know which, if we're talking about the row length or the column length? And I'll show you in a minute. And then this would say, of course, row plus plus. Then we could do this. And then 4 int column is equal to 0. There's a sign 0, I should say. And then your column is less than students. And then you put in maybe row here. And then dot length. So that's our columns. And then column plus plus. Okay. And then, of course, here you could just put in your oh, I need a scanner, don't I? String. I'm just going to call it entry. Will be equal to user con, let's say, next. And that's not right. This should say students. Students, and then it would be row, and then column. Okay. I mean, I don't have a prompt or anything there for them, but it would stop and wait now. You just have to assume it. So as easy as something like that, this would run, and every time you type something in, it would go into a new one here. And it's the outer loop would run, so it goes into the outer loop. Row becomes 0, comes down here. Row is 0, column is 0. So we would have put in Mo here. Comes back up here, then it would be 0, 1. So we put in 10. Then it'd be 0, 2. We'd put in 7. It'd be 0, 3. We put in 9. Then it'd come down here, go out to the outside loop. Okay. And the outside loop becomes 1. Comes in here. It'll be at 1, 0. So we would type in Larry. Then it would be 1, 1. So it'd be 9. It'd be 1, 2. It'd be 9. 1, 3. It would be 9. Comes out. Then this goes to 2. So 2, 0. This would become curly, etc., until we finish out through Shemp. Okay. So that's how it works. Okay. That's what it looks like if you had to visualize it. Okay. Now, what if I did something like this? If I said string let's see here. How many teams are there? 30 with let's say 30 people on a team, and we want 10 things about each one. Okay. So how many elements in this array?
I'm just making a guess. I'm not. I'm thinking maybe. Uh, uh, 10. 900.
No, 10
I,
times.
I'm out. I'm out of ideas then.
30 times 30 is 900 times 10. This one was 4 times 4 is 16. This one is 30 times 30 times 10. So in this scenario, you'd have 30 rows of 30 columns and then 30 deep. So it's like if you had a file cabinet, and in the front of it, there's 30 rows of drawers, and then there's 30 columns of drawers. And in each drawer, there's 10 pieces of paper that you can write on. Okay. So let's say I did string 1, 0, 0. I'm sorry, that should be MLB. We've already created the Major League Baseball. Okay. So this one we could assign to I forget how you spell his last name. Molina, I guess. So that would be Yadier Molina. That would be his last name is stored in there. Then we could come down here, MLB 1, and put in his first name, and it's Yadier. I don't know, that's close to that, I guess. And then next one about him. He's at 1, 0. 2. He is a catcher. And we could add 7 more things about him. Okay. So if we're looking at our drawers here, if we're looking at a set of file drawers, I'm not going to make the whole thing, but so he would be in the, so this is 0 row here. So he'd be 1, and then in 0 column. So in here, so far there's in this drawer right here, there's 3 pieces of paper. On the 0 piece of paper is Molina. The card or the piece of paper behind that has Yadier on it. The third one has catcher on it. Okay. So again, if you're thinking this looks like a cabinet with 30 drawers going one way and 30 wide by 30 deep by 10 or 30 rows, 30 columns, and then 10 things in the drawer. And that number 1 there, that represents the St. Louis Cardinals. The 0 is Molina himself, the player. And the third one is the statistic or whatever information you got. Okay. So if I had another team like the Cubs, they could be MLB 0. So they would be in the 0 row, okay, going across. And each new one would be another player on the Cubs up to 30. So their first player his information would be in this drawer. And we would have 10 possible things about that person in that drawer. So kind of, sort of. The other thing like this, well, if I can get information in, I surely can print it out, right? So to print out everybody in this chart here, what I would do is this. I'd say system out.print, and not a print line. I would want just a print. And then I would say student, and then row, column, plus a space. Okay. And since I'm using just print, it would print it like this. It would print it going across, like Mo, then a space, then 10, space, 7, space, 9. Okay, is what it would print out. And then to get to the next one, I'd have to come down here. And outside of the inner loop, but still inside the outer loop, I would have to put system.out print line like that. And then my outer loop would end down here. So now it runs and prints out all this, then it goes outside the inner loop, and the outer loop goes to 1, and then it goes back inside. So then it would print out Larry, 9 space, 9 space, 9. Then it would go outside the loop again, and I would get curly 10, 9, 8, etc., 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 down to Shemp 8, 5, 9, and then the loop, both loops would end at that point. So again, this loop runs 4 times, this loop runs 4 times. So this loop runs 16 times total. The outer loop runs 4 times, the inner loop runs 16 times. Okay, so that's a basic thing on multidimensional arrays. And of course, the book has a whole chapter. So I'm going to go outside here and go back in. All right. Okay, what's going on here? Let's close that. And then what is that? Okay, so we're going to write a program today called row sort. And what we're going to do, well, I'll show you. So it's going to be new project, ant, row sort. All right. And it'll be project Acme row sort. And then we'll have this is row sort Java. And we'll have the date today is the 13th of April, 2021. Author is yourself. Purpose, a program that will sort 3 rows of digits, row by row, and display the result. The user will put the digits, enter the digits. Okay, so something like that. And I just happen to know that there will be user input, so I need to import a Java utility. Always have to wait and then wonder if it's going to let me put it in without an error. Nope. I need to figure out why it does that. And I also know for testing purposes, we're going to create the digits, the 9 digits using the scanner. I'm sorry, the random. So we got that. Get rid of that. Move that down. Move this down. Get rid of this. And indent this a little more. And we're off and running. Okay, so we're inside the main. We're going to declare a 2-dimension array because we're going to have rows and columns. So we're going to call it user matrix. How's that? And we're not going to give it a size yet. We're just going to declare it. Okay. So later on, I'll have to fill in the size in the program. So here's my stub in. You guys should be getting pretty used to this one. All right. We only got 3 more lessons, so after this week. Depending on how things go. And now it's just the test. Like, and then And we got our default down here if it isn't any of the others. Like that. And if that's correct, then we should be able to run it and should print out that it's over. There you go. Thank you for using Acme. So that works. All right. So now we need a menu. So it goes right here. And we'll say choice is assign set menu. Better put a semicolon there though. And we'll run down outside of our main. And of course, this is a char. And okay, so now we need I think I'll make it simple today. And then that'll be good enough. Okay, and then let's see, where will I need a scanner at? In 2 spots, so I need to put my scanner up here. So I'm going to just say private static scan final scanner. So that declares a scanner that has a big enough scope to be in several different places. And then I will put here char answer, I guess, is good, is equal to usercon dot next to upper char at 0 is correct. And then return answer. And then we'll check that by running it. And if I enter an E, it should say enter is here, it does. I enter a T, it says test is here. If I enter a J, it says enter your only E, T, and Q are valid. And then if I enter a Q, the program quits. So that's what I want. I do want to put in, let's see here. After this one, the air one, I'm going to put another line feed in there. I like that. And then I'm also going to do that to the goodbye one. /n there. I think that'll look nicer. All right. So now let's run up here. So we're here. I think we got all that in. So we're ready to go get a matrix, the user matrix. So we're going to say user matrix is assigned set user matrix. And then we will drop down, of course. Okay. Outside of, after this one. And this one will be an int set user matrix. Something to that effect. And then okay. And we're going to declare another two-dimensional array here. And we're just going to call it matrix this time, is equal to a new int 3 by 3. So 3 rows of 3 entries. If I could type, it would be a good thing. So again, we're going to have 9 entries we can make. Okay. Let's see here. Under a matrix of integers. Of what will it be? Let's make this a printf. Then this will be a percent D. And then a slash N. And and percent D. Oh, this needs to say percent D rows and percent D columns. And then if I do then we do here, we do matrix dot length, and then matrix we can just put a 0 in there. Dot length. That should be right. Okay, so it'll do that, do that. All right, so now we need, so if that goes in, I'm going to move these over a little bit. So slash T, slash T, and a slash T. Okay. So now we told them to put it in, so we can say for int row is assigned 0. Row is less than matrix length. Row plus plus. Then we can say for int column is assigned 0 and column is less than matrix row dot length. Column plus plus. Okay, and then in here we need while usercon has next int and then we'll say system dot out dot here if this will work. Control C that. Control V that. Tab that over. Okay. And then let's go ahead here. Da, 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 da. Do I want to reset that? Let's do that. Row equals 0. Column is assigned 0. And then we will clear out the array by doing usercon dot next. Do I need next line? Let's try next line for a change. And then outside of that while loop, we can put in our matrix row column is whatever they put in. I think that'll work. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so if I come out of there to come down there outside of, should be, these two should match at this point. Yep. So right there. So I'm outside the outer loop here. And I'm going to say system dot out print line. You entered the following matrix. And then we go down one. And we're going to just copy this part right here, these two for loops, Control C them. Come down here, Control V. And then we can say here, system.out.print, and it'll be matrix row column. And that puts them in a row. So then outside of this inner loop, we need to have a system.out print line that moves it down a line. And then, okay, and then that goes from there to there. Then in here, we need to return the matrix. So that's what I need right now from you guys. So if we go here now and run this, hopefully, we put in an E and we type in 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Oops, gotta have spaces. 7, 8, 9. And I entered 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. I forgot to put a space in there, but so then let's try it again. And if I put in A, B, C, it says, what does it say? Enter matrix. See, enter matrix. No, that is not a valid matrix. Okay, example. We got something goofy here. Not a valid matrix. Why would it? Okay, let's take a look at that. Quit. Oh, jeez. 1, 2, 3. It doesn't want to let me out of there. 2, 3. 1, 2, whatever. There we go. Quit. All right, so I'm going to change a few things here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's put a slash n there. I'm going to put a slash n here, which I don't normally do. And this here, enter. Let's get rid of this line here, because that makes no sense. And either does this one. Let's just do this. And this, get rid of that. Okay, so I'm changing this in here to read something like this. Okay. And I'm also going to change this to just next and see if that'll work for us. And see if that looks better. All right, let's see if that looks any better. So we do E, and we do A, B, C. It is not, oh, it's doing one for every letter that you type in. Okay, so that works. I don't know that I like that it's for every line there, but it works. Something might work on in the future. But all in all, it works. All right. And it looks halfway decent anyway. Okay, so we're back up on top, and now we got to sort this thing. So we're going to say, I'm just going to make this a void. Oops, wrong one, Doug. I'm going to make this a void, so it'll just say sort matrix. And then I have to send down the matrix. So it's user matrix. Got that. Okay. So we'll go down here right after setting the matrix. And this will be a void. And it'll be sort matrix. And it's an int. And we'll call it matrix again. And we have to have our parameter set so that we can catch the argument that we're sending down from the top. All right, and now we need that loop again. Let's see if I can just pop it in there like that. That looks pretty good. Except that it needs to be a little bit different. I need length here. Let me see here. The mono length, and we want to put -1 here. And again, on this part of this program, I would not expect you to memorize this. This would be something you would look up, like it's an algorithm to do this. So that goes there, that goes there. All right, so inside of here now, we're going to have a bunch of stuff. So this will be lowest number is the matrix in the current row and column. And that's kind of a standard thing, starts off with the first number. And then the minimum index will be equal to the column. So there's that. And inside of this loop here, we're going to have another, it's going to say 4. Let's make it int index 2. It's going to be equal to the or assign the column +1, where the index 2 is less than the matrix row dot length and then just index plus, I think. Plus. And we'll do if the lowest is greater than the matrix row index 2, then we have to switch some stuff around. Lowest becomes the matrix row index 2. And the min index becomes index 2. Then we're going to come out of that. I think here. And then outside of the 4 here, so here we are here at the 4. We're going to go and put another if statement. So if the min index is not equal to the column, then the matrix row min index will be assigned, the matrix row column. Oh, I had index up here. That should be index 2 right there. And then the matrix row column will be assigned the lowest. All right. And I think we come out of there right about here. And it'll be system.out.println. And that. And actually, it's the same thing we had right here. And it goes there. So this whole thing needs to move over, I think. And this goes where? I got something screwy here. It goes with that. So this should be tabbed in one. Okay, and then this all goes in. All right. That one goes with that. This one goes with that. And then I think I need one more out here. I'm not mistaken. There you go. And again, I would never expect you to memorize this. Okay. But you should be able to find it somewhere, okay? And then put it into your programs. And let's see how bad. Yesterday I had a heck of a time getting it running, but let's see what happens today. So, oh, I've got one running. All right, hopefully I'll get it on the first one today. I put in too many semicolons yesterday. Okay, so now I'm going to put my matrix in. I'll make it simple the first time. And there you go. I put this in. It says this is what you put in, and this is sorted. And that's right. Okay. I'm going to keep going here just because we're running short on time. So now what I'm going to do here is get rid of this. Go ahead and put this in there. And change this word right here just to COMP for a computer matrix. Set the computer matrix. Okay, and then I'm going to go down and I'm going to copy this whole thing right here. Control C it, drop down right there, Control V, and then we'll go back up here and make this COMP. Change this to COMP. And then we don't need this. We just need any row checking. And right here, we're going to create a random. So we'll say random RDM is equal to a new random. And then right here, we'll just say RDM dot next int. And we want to base it on 0 through 9 for now. And that should fix that. Okay, so let's see if it'll work. So now I can type T, and it says, here's your ones that the computer generated. Get rid of this you entered. And here they are sorted. So that does work. And here the data you entered. How did that look? Did I have it you entered? Don't need that line either. Let's try it now. So I type in a T. There it is. You're sorted as that, and it's ready for another one. So that looks good. Oh, I want to put a slash there though. Okay, so Q. Where is this? Where did I do that at? That's weird. Run it again. I don't know where that is. T. Here's your computer generated. Oh, okay. Slash N here. Much better. There's still space in front of it, but it looks pretty good. Get rid of that space. There we go. Now, watch this. If I do the computer one, I can make this 10, make this 10. Why? I keep forgetting to quit. Let's see what happens. I do a T now. There you go. There's 100 numbers sorted row by row. Numbers sorted row by row. And all I had to do is switch these from 3. And time's up. Okay. So I'll go ahead and close that. And then I'll stop sharing. And I got a little break here, and then I'll be back for an office hour. And I'll post the recording in case you guys fell behind. Okay. All right. I'll see you in either Thursday or whenever. Have a great day.
Thank you.